Hey, welcome to Non-Perishable Goods Podcast. We are so glad that you are taking the time to spend it with us and to hear what we have to say and just join in on the conversation. I'm not sure where this show is gonna go, but I think we should just jump in. We should just jump in head first and just see what happens. But today we're gonna talk about transgender people and folks because I really don't know much about this. So I think maybe just have patience with us and we'll explore and journey and see where we end up. But what I found in this whole thing is that it's still ongoing. Like there's still a lot of research being done in this area, which I think is important to have a real conversation of what's going on and what's affecting children, adults, and like this has been I was also thinking this seems like sorry for saying like so much. Um, the last few years, I know I can't say it again. I've just seen so many more transgender people. And it was like growing up, I didn't know any transgender people. And even today, I don't know many. I know a few. Well, actually like one, but I do see more today. So I don't know. I just think our society needs to have a real conversation about it.
About
Like
what
I
about?
just like I don't well, even medical doctors and pediatricians, they're saying it's not a mental illness. 'Cause I'll be honest, I felt like it was a mental illness. Like I'm just being honest. Because it's something that I don't understand. And I think when people don't understand something, they are fearful, they make a lot of judgments and I think as a society we just need to take the time to see what's happening because intersex people, um trans people have been here forever, like since ancient times. And I think they were saying more people are more noticeable today because I guess society is making it easier for them to come out or to even identify what they're feeling. Because what they're feeling, I didn't realize this, but they have a deep sense that they were born in the wrong body, right? Is that how you understand it?
But that doesn't sound like mental illness to you.
But you can't just call something mental illness. Because this was a something that came up in my research was that the anguish and the pain that they feel from feeling like or knowing they're in a different body is causing them gender dysphoria. And that's actually a mental illness,
Hmm.
you know? So
So I can't call it a mental illness.
if they suffer, see, everything has a label and all that stuff, but it if they suffer from not all trans, and this is the thing, not all trans people suffer from gender dysphoria. Because gender dysphoria is when you have an actual disorder and you're completely depressed. You isolate. You don't want to go anywhere. You don't want to present yourself. It sounds like it's very tormenting. So if that's the case, then yes, they are classifying gender dysphoria as a mental illness. But not all trans people suffer from that. Like they want to be in a different, and it, like they want to be in a different body, but it all comes down to identity, like how they want to identify because they feel like they were born differently than what their biological body is.
Right. So if somebody is has multiple personalities, we just don't cater to it, right? Like we try to help that person. We give them therapy, we give them drugs, we give them we let them conversate and we analyze their condition, right?
Hmm. And
So
that's what
that's
they're
what we
doing. That's what they're doing. They are doing that with like that's why they want gender affirming care and they want to be able to get help through this.
but gender affirming care should be for adults because that entails chemical castration and having younger kids like possibly change their minds when they get older.
But that, okay, so I know that a lot of people say that, but it's very rare. Like there are cases where people want to detransition, but most people don't. They don't detransition. They're like happy that they went through with it, but not saying that they don't
Right.
detransition.
I mean, there's a small amount of intersex people too, but we still count them, right?
Yeah, but there's also a very small amount of trans people in our society. Like it's only like 1 million
I
people
don't
out of,
think people I don't think people really care until you mess with their kids, until a state or a government tells them how to raise their kids, until like doctors are giving them like free like puberty blockers and stuff like that without even parents' consent. I think that's where the issues came from because we don't have no problems with trans. I mean nobody really cares if you're trans, if you're gay, if you're fluid, whatever. But when you start messing with the children, that becomes a problem. Then there's the sports situation, and
wait, before we get to that, like, yes, all of the, I think everybody, trans people even agree that doctors like I mean I'm sure there's instances where maybe doctors give children puberty blockers, or maybe some other kind of treatment, but the proper way of doing it, and even in the trans community, they believe that it's a long-term process, and a lot of them don't believe that minors should have that care. But they do, I guess, like I was saying, it's such a like tormenting feeling that the puberty blockers, from how I understand it, it keeps them from turning into what they don't want to be. You know what I'm saying? Like, so if it's a woman, like if it's a girl, like a child, and she hasn't hit puberty yet, then they give them those puberty blockers so she doesn't like grow her boobs and get her feminine thing traits that make
yeah,
you.
that's not up to the doctor though, right? That's up to the parents.
Yeah, and it should
Yeah.
be. So I don't know. Do you
And
know
the
like
whole and the whole thing about that is you have people in the medical field who are I think they're self-righteous and worried about uh, the suicide rates amongst kids,
and it's real though.
which is valid, but at the same time, with good parenting and
But what if your
oh,
parent but what if your parent is just like, "Oh no, no." You know what I mean? Are very anti and don't want to hear
what if your
that
parent
and
doesn't
they
like
think
who you're dating and what if your
right,
parent doesn't want you to go to a certain college?
right,
What if your parent doesn't kicks you out at 18 or
right.
16? So I mean, that's between that family. All these people, these like activists who have like degrees and shit, that's the issue. Who think they could save every kid and save every planet. That's the problem. Those aren't your kids. Let the parents do the parenting. Whether you like it or not, that's not your kid. Let the parents do their thing. It's with everything. What if my kid's depressed? Let me deal with that. Let me decide if I'm going to either watch over my kid or take my kid into therapy. That kid is not your kid. You're leave your activist
But are they
bullshit at
doing
the
that though?
house.
But what states, what hospital, like where are they doing that? Like I didn't look into that, but is there like actual credible information or where this is actually happening? Because I know they were trying to say that about the drag shows or people going to those drag shows
Why
for
you say
children,
you keep
but
saying
people
trying, but there's videos of it. So what do you mean
I don't
trying?
know. Is it AI? Is it credible? Like, where's this source?
There
Like,
was no AI like that when they were showing those videos. And if it was AI, it would be horrible. It would the
right,
graphics and everything would not be as
right.
fluid as it is right now with VO3. So
Yeah.
no, so
But I'm
you
just,
brought that up
but I'm
last time.
just,
It's like it's been all over the place. It's all over the place.
I've never
It's all
seen
over
that.
Twitter.
I've never seen that. That's all I'm saying.
Okay,
Like, not
all
saying
right.
that not saying that it's not real.
Why do
Like,
you think like people are just like making this up just to be mad? Like nobody wants to be mad. We all want to be free, but when we
okay,
see
so
that
where,
happening and we see it, like it's a problem because it's like it's disgusting.
right, but there, people are saying, the whole argument of parental rights in schools for whatever reason, they don't want their kids to learn about racial CRT stuff. They don't want
They
kids
don't want them to
to
say the pledge of allegiance
all that
in
stuff
school.
or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it's I'm just saying like where where is this happening? Like I just really want to know where is it happening? Like maybe we'll stop it and look it up. But I don't know if that's I mean, I'm sure everything is possible. Like there's anomalies, there's people out here who maybe overly sympathize with people's struggles and they cross the bounds. Like I'm sure that's somewhere happening in the world.
If this
But
wasn't happening, it wouldn't
majority,
be an issue.
right, but
They wouldn't bring it up.
yes, it would because they're
No,
over here.
nobody's making up like, oh, there's a drag queen reading hour at my school. Like who makes that up?
No, that's what I'm saying. It may have happened at one high school in all of America.
Yeah, if
You
it
know what I
happened at
mean?
one, we talk about that one, but it didn't happen at that one.
It's not happening. It's not a widespread thing. There's not even
Not
that many.
anymore because it slowed down, and plus we got Trump in office.
No, no, there's not even that many trans people in the population to even have this many trans
That's not
situations.
what it's all about. It's about people. First of all, it's been like a landslide, like a downhill thing. It's like first it started out with cancel culture, then it started out with
But people should be
them
canceled.
leftists like getting having more power than they should, and then the companies messing with people's money and say regulating speech because if I can't say this or if we don't go along with what you're saying, then you're going to cut off my money, and then that's a thing, and then
I mean, everybody does that.
regular people are
That's in
doxing
power.
people if
Everybody,
they don't agree with you
everybody
because
does
they're
that when they're
going
in power.
because when they're going on Twitter and doxing people and saying, "Oh, this guy likes Trump or likes J.K. Rowling," so go to their house and blah blah blah. Like you got like influencers, YouTube, Twitch, whatever, talking shit about other people. I mean, it's like it's like a I keep saying down a landslide, but that's not a snowball effect,
Hmm.
right? So then now you can't. Now it's like the parents are saying, if the trans are bullying people if you don't like what I do or don't support what I do, then you're transphobic or homophobic. So you have to let me do this,
That's crazy, you
and then
guys.
the
Crazy
parents
talk.
are like, oh well, I have to accept the drag dancing or whatever in front of my kids or whatever, or they're gonna like cancel me and think I'm a homophobe, and I gotta support this so they won't commit suicide.
No, then
So
you
it's like
just
all
take your
this,
kid away. Then you don't bring your kid and you leave the event if it's that traumatic. You know what I mean?
but
Like
they
that's
stay
parental rights.
like
That's
in San
parental rights.
Francisco, they're having a pride parades, and then like the kids are there, and then like if you've been to a San Francisco pride parade, like they get bucket naked and they're doing
So
all
you
kinds of
shouldn't
sexual
go.
shit.
Like that's gonna be there. Like there's all types of people in
No,
this
yeah,
world.
that's what I'm saying. They're bringing their kids to show that they accept this lifestyle.
But then you gotta accept the whole lifestyle. Why would you go to a pride parade? You know what's gonna be at a pride parade.
They're allowing the drag queen thing, the drag queen stripping hours, the pride parades, like those these parents are nuts, man.
Well, then you don't
It's,
go. Like you don't take your kids.
who's
Like
you?
I'm just saying that whoever's doing that. Like if you're
No,
that,
they're there for a reason. What do you mean?
like they shouldn't go to that. Like
But
you,
they want to go to show their support, and they think they're showing their support is bringing their kids with them to go to these things. And then the trans people are
okay.
saying, well, let me read a book or let me do like a dancing or whatever, or let me do a parade. And the heteros, the what I want to say something. The liberal activists with kids are saying, I support this, so I'm gonna bring my kids with and see this. And it's like, dude, it's sexual acts.
But that's what they went to the parade for. That's what they chose use with their parental rights to take their kids to. That's all I'm saying, right? That's all. We can agree on that. Like
Yeah,
seriously.
yeah.
Okay. So that's on them. Like you know what's gonna be at a pride parade. Everybody knows what's at a. I don't go to pride parades because I know what's at a pride parade, and I'm not interested in that. So to go support that, I mean, I support it as far as I hope nobody hurts you and you don't get, violated or killed, but I'm not going to go to a pride parade and see a bunch of naked men. That's not my thing.
Do you support gay teachers putting up gay flags in the classroom?
Why would they do that? Like, no, I don't. I don't understand why there should be any flags. Excuse me. I don't understand why there would be any flags in a classroom other than, I guess, the American flag if we have to have that in there. Like that's there's no point. So yes, I agree with you. There are a lot of things that are just going too far because everybody's trying to push their beliefs on other people. But if we live in a free society, so everybody can do what they want. But when it comes to children, people are a little bit more are more particular. But I personally, like our president, just on national news, is on TV cussing. So this is the president, the most powerful person in the entire world. So it's like everybody's selective in what's proper and what's not proper. Like,
Right, because all the other Democrats and what's her name? Uh Jamie Crockett is cursing and everybody on the Democrat side is cursing.
and so is
Is
Marjorie
everybody
Taylor Greene.
is
Everybody
everybody
does
making
it.
us think about that? Yes, everybody does it. So who gives a shit?
No, people should give a shit. And that's the problem. So it's like everybody wants to pick and choose what's oh so terrible and so bad. And
Right.
it's all terrible. It's all bad. Like let's stay there. Let's be honest about that. It's not that whatever's happening in society today is not proper, especially from a person of faith. Everything in my life, I come from a place of, or I try to come from a place of morals, and it's it's an ongoing effort to learn and try to be a better person and transforming. But something is going on in our world, and it's very immoral.
Yeah, perversion has kind of escaped from indoor and became outdoor. and
Right.
and and people who are trying to remain like liberal and leftist are letting uh their kids like witness all this.
But so are the conservatives. I mean,
How?
bombing a nation, what's moral about that? Like war and all that, that's not of God. Like that's a power perversion. You know what I mean? Like there's just everything, the whole world is sinful. Like that's the only way I could explain
Is
it.
it a power perversion if the US only bombed weapons and planes?
But they lied about that supposedly. Like it
Yes,
didn't.
right, supposedly. So let's suppose that they did lie and they just bombed the weapons and uranium. Is that okay?
Why can't Iran have
Is
Iran?
that okay? Is that okay?
Why can't Iran have a nuclear bomb?
Is that okay?
But America could have 3,000. There's a problem there. There's a perversion of power
So
there.
so it's not okay.
I mean, what if
Nobody died
why would you like it's kind of like not practicing what you preach. You have
because you
3,000
said
nuclear bombs
because
and you
Iran
won't
said they wouldn't have it.
why
Then they
can't
have
they
like a
have it?
UN because they had a because the Iran is nuts. They're crazy.
No, they're not.
They're
No,
not.
no. I mean,
They're not.
they have a regime, I guess, that is, um, I don't know. They say it's terrorism and they support a lot of Hamas and all that stuff.
Yeah,
So,
they say dead to America. They don't like America.
but there's extremists in every group. The MAGA
They
people are
this is their
extremists.
government. This is their government. They don't like gay. They
Our
don't
government
like
is
no. I'm talking
extremist.
about Iran. Not compared to Iran. Compared to Iran,
Yes, America, look at
there's like
America's history.
there's two gay men on the board.
But look at,
There's no gay men in Iran. They don't accept gay. They don't
right.
accept homosexuality. So what are
Okay.
you talking about? We're not the same.
Yes, we
What's the
hear.
extreme?
But okay,
What's the extreme for
okay, that's
America?
the scene. That's the thing. All sin is sin. There's no sin that's greater
You said
than
we're extreme, like Iran.
we
How are we
are.
extreme?
We
How?
are. You don't
I'm asking you how.
America has colonized the entire world, lied about, okay, with the Iraq War, lied about weapons of mass destruction. They've basically
Google that.
imperialized the whole continent and, robbed people, not just America, but Europe as well. Like, this is known facts. This isn't like made up. Like, America is not free. America has blood on its hands. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yet
let's talk
people still
about,
try to come to America.
right, but that they don't,
Nobody tries to come to Iran. Nobody wants to go to Iran.
but I've seen
Nobody's sneaking into Iran.
I saw an amazing because they don't let people in, but I saw an amazing
Imagine
their
that.
society looks great, but we don't see that. We see propaganda. Like we don't like people like
So you agree with like women covering no having no real rights, not being able to go to school, having to cover up. Like
no. I don't believe in that, but
you're making it you're trying to make it sound good over there. What's
no, it is. It's not as bad as I think they have led us on to
Lord
believe.
have mercy. Is this is this TDS? Is this TDS right now?
Even before Trump got here, this is how America is. What you
I'm talking
think
about
Jim
you are
Crow?
big upping Iran.
I mean, I'm not big. I mean, well, Israel is not
If
Israel.
Biden was in office, would you feel the same way? Every president
Yes,
along the way
yes, yes.
did not agree with
America
Iran and
first.
their weapons.
America first. We don't want wars. We don't.
This is the first time a president has ever acted on it.
But it wasn't even our war to get involved in. This Israel drew
This
him
isn't
in,
we're not in a war. We just bombed we just kind of spanked them for having weapons. This
dude.
is not a war.
They could have weapons. Why? What gives us the power to say they can't have weapons?
Then they have a contract with the UN saying they won't have weapons. Each state or country should not have uranium or weapons for nuclear uh, wars.
Okay, well we have
So they
3,000.
lied. So they lied.
We have 3,000 nuclear bombs. We already
We
did
have
that.
to, how do you? But did we have authorization for that?
Bro, come on. I mean, why can't I'm just saying like we that's what I'll look into.
So
Like
why
why
are
can
they
we
battling Israel and Iran? Why are they fighting?
because I
And
mean
they're going back and forth.
Netanyahu,
So then you have Daddy saying you guys ain't supposed to do this. Plus, Iran, you already know you're not supposed to have weapons anyway. So you said you were going to cease fire. You didn't. So this is what happens.
they're basically bullying that country. That's how I see it. And
If we are supposed to be the most powerful country and globally,
we're not anymore.
then we should show it.
We have a bunch of doofuses in the government.
Yet people still want to come here to America.
Not anymore. Tourist is down ever since they're
Well,
doing all
now, yeah,
these
and
kidnappings.
they still try.
No, they don't. Not anymore. Nobody's coming to
No,
America
the
anymore.
borders. You didn't. Did you see the news? Like people's trying to still sneak in. You didn't see that?
No, I didn't see that.
Constantly for the past month, people are still trying to sneak in all
Yeah,
kinds of ways. So
I will have to, everybody verify that, look that up, because
verify that with my man Cash from New York. He shows every news uh report every almost every day. I watch them. I watch him, and it's like new people, new
well,
techniques.
then they need to secure the borders and stop kidnapping people, innocent people in the streets.
It's not about securing the borders. It's about them sneaking in. They can't. They can't find each and every car that sneaks in.
Yes, they can.
No, they
It's
can't.
impossible to just sneak in. Like, this is ridiculous.
So when they catch these cars or these trucks with these mattress trucks with people hidden in them or with compartments in them, that's all fake. That's fake news. That's not
I don't know.
real.
I don't know.
It's not
I,
cops pulling these Mexicans out of the car, not or these trucks with the Asian people or from Taiwan out of trucks. That's all fake. That's
how did
I don't know what I saw.
people from Taiwan get here? They crossed through the Mexican border. They went all the way around to the Panama Suez Canal or
They
whatever.
got hustled in probably through freights or whatever. I don't know how they got. I don't know. I mean, it's crazy.
Like, there's logistical questions people have to ask when they watch these kind of videos. Like, that just I don't understand how people could make it all the way from Taiwan and be alive in a mattress. You know what I'm saying? Like, but anyways,
They can't ship or get on a plane and then get into a truck from the plane from a little airport and money is
I'm sure, I'm
hand over
sure,
fist
I'm sure it's possible. I'm sure if you
because you don't see it, it doesn't happen.
no, I've said that many times. Like, just because you don't see something doesn't mean it's not real.
Right. This
But
is like an ongoing thing, and now they're really enacting controlling the borders and getting these illegals out of America, which Biden did, which Obama did, which every president did.
properly and in order and as appropriately as possible.
If we saw it, we don't know, right? We just
We
know the
do
amount.
know, but you guys don't believe you do not believe everything. You don't believe you and so many people like you don't believe facts.
No,
You don't believe
I believe facts. I believe
actual
that Biden and Obama did the same thing Trump did on a lower scale, not as
Trump is on a lower
not
scale.
formidable.
Trump
Not
isn't even on a scale. Trump
he's
ain't
on this.
even
He's on the scale. He's
he's
on a
not
scale,
even
all right.
I
He's
mean,
tipping the scale.
if you support Trump, like there's something in him that you relate to, and I don't know, like
That's not true.
he's not, it is. If
That
you're
you
standing
relate
by
to.
him, you have to be relating to him to support
What
him.
what 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 does a middle class person? How can he relate to Trump? How can a middle class person relate to Biden or Obama?
I mean, you support whatever he's doing. You're supporting that he bombed. Well, everything he says is a lie. So it's like you guys just believe
There's
everything
a
that,
lot. So when he said he was going to bomb Iran and bombs Iran, that was a lie.
no, he did it, but
When he said he was going to get rid of illegals, he's
he
that's a lie.
he did not obliterate their nuclear program. They've transferred the uranium or whatever to another
I
facility
think it's funny that
because your president tweeted what he was about to do.
I
So,
think it's funny that when Trump says something
oh my
like just exaggerated, then it's like, oh well, he didn't when he Trump said it was going to be boombastic, it wasn't boombastic. It's like what are, who cares what he said? Watch what he does or how he says it. He says things repeatedly. He's almost like
mentally ill.
senile, like Biden.
Yeah, he's definitely off. He's not, I don't know, there's nothing honest about that man, but if you guys like it, that's all good, I guess. It's just I just don't understand how people can get duped this hard. Like, he's really just lying to you guys daily. And you guys are
So
okay with
you're
it.
saying though, like whoever, everybody who voted for him is just retarded. So okay,
That's
you
how
think
I
that's a
feel.
fair assumption? Yeah, okay.
That's how I feel. I'm
I
sorry.
think the left is retarded for. I think
But why make it left and
I
right?
think
Like,
all these people who are like rioting or not right, well yeah, rioting
who's
and
rioting? Nobody's rioting.
protesting. They weren't rioting.
Dude, we had this conversation. We both agreed they weren't rioting. There was like a
The rioters
small
were rioting and the
dispersance.
protests were. I think it's weird that you're protesting about America with the Mexican flags. That's not weird. That's not retarded.
It's not illegal,
It's not. I didn't say it was illegal,
but that's all I'm saying.
but that's retarded. There's some place where you want to stay, you throw up another flag. Does that make sense? Go back to the country then. They you can self deport. They're giving you $1,000 to self deport.
hmm So how do we get off track? Like this isn't even the
Oh,
show.
I have no idea.
Like I'll probably delete all of this, not even lie.
I wanted to. So
Where
Tennessee.
were we? Because
So Tennessee is doing is doing
I'm like so over it. I was like, dude, this is retarded.
So Tennessee is just overturned their gender-affirming care for minors, uh, which includes the puberty blockers and the hormone therapy, which I do support. But why would anybody like but go against that? And this is something that Tennessee has done before. Like they keep overturning this, but I just don't. It's except for the money part, for hospitals and stuff. Like as a parent. And I could see the concern about like suicide and stuff like that, but kids suffer depression anyway. This is just one avenue, like say by dysmorphia, depression, getting bullied at school. Like kids go through all kinds of emotional shit during high school, junior high to high school times, even into college. So it's like but we still have to like protect the kids. And I don't understand how an adult over there can tell me how to like raise my kid.
But who's telling you to? Like I said, like this is one example, but the proper procedure that most doctors abide by is it's a long process. Like they don't, and everything I've read is like they have to check with the parents. They ask them to have wise counsel. Like it doesn't just happen overnight. Like people to even be diagnosed with gender dysmorphia or dysphoria, they have
Is it
to
dysmorphia or dysphoria?
dysphoria. They want to be in another body for like 6 months or more. Like it's and they say like if any major decision you should wait like 7 days or whatever. So 6 months is pretty substantial amount of time. Like so I understand, I hear what you're saying, and if that is the case, like yeah, people shouldn't allow minors or help minors to start this process without their parents. So there must be other logistical situations with
And
that.
I wanted to get back what you were saying in the beginning. Like I do think that um what am I trying to say? Like kids or men or boys or whatever at a certain time. Like you can tell the effeminate boys, right, at a young age, right? But they can go either way. You just let them grow. But I've seen like somebody I used to go out to high school with who really was super effeminate and ended up transitioning into a woman. And she looks fantastic. Right? There's those people who have that, I guess, who are just more feminine, but just have a penis, right? But then you have the other men who are just gay, right? They don't want to be girls. They like their PP, like they don't want tits. They want to be a man. They're just gay,
Well, that yeah,
right?
that's a totally different thing because
So
that's gender and sexuality.
I'm trying to flow, and you're kind of
Go ahead.
okay. Let me get back. Okay, so shit. Where was I going?
Oh, I'm sorry.
I was trying to land.
I thought you were done. So a
So
boy
there
looked
was
hella good,
no, 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 no,
or that he was like a girl,
no,
and
no, no, no.
okay, his passability was amazing.
Yes, yes, there's those boys, right? Who
Mhm.
can, if they put on a wig, whatever, they pass. But then you have the Lilies and the Lily Tom, the what's her name, Leah Thomases, who like all of a sudden just wake up and say, I want to look like a girl and I want to swim. You know, we have there's this Lily person who keeps going to Disneyland, going into to the girls' bathrooms, like there's the one at the Wii Spa who went to the girl side and showed his wee wee off. Like, is that's kind of
That's crazy. That's the same story that's circulating in all the conservative circles. So it's like
right?
it happened, it did happen, but it's not widespread. But I do feel you because honestly, I was in downtown Oakland and it's very progressive, very, very progressive in Oakland. And I went to the bath, it was a party, and I went to the bathroom and it was a non-gender conforming bathroom.
Mhm.
And I walk in and it's hella dudes in there. Dudes at the urinal and like whatever. So I like walked out immediately.
Dudes, but like dressed as girls or dudes?
No, it was a man. It was like a bathroom for everyone. I didn't like that. I
Yeah.
felt very uncomfortable.
Why'd you go in that one?
That was
Just
the only one.
oh, gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah, yeah.
I didn't even know. Like I didn't know it was a
Yeah.
bathroom. Because
So me, I'm in. Go ahead, finish.
no,
I'm
I was
sorry.
gonna say because with like you know, transgender, it sounds like the main issues is right now in our society is how they go to the bathroom, like
Mhm.
where what's acceptable, how all that works, sports, you know, the gender affirming transition stuff. And there was one other thing that's really like hot topic right now. And I kind of want to like touch on all those.
You didn't write it down.
No, but
But,
okay, so but that's enough to get
but no, no.
started.
Say it again. Say them all again. Maybe I'll.
So there how where they can go to the bathroom if it's
Yes.
acceptable for, you know, a man, you know, the situation I just talked about.
Hmm.
Sports,
Sports.
trans people in sports,
Yep.
and you know, the minors getting transitioning,
Gender
yeah,
affirmation, affirmation care,
yeah,
care. Yeah.
which was in the Supreme Court today. So
Yeah.
that's pretty much the main things
Those are, okay. Okay.
happening
I,
right now.
I I honestly think here's my philosophy. If you I know the only people I see who want to be women and are men are the ones who already look like that. To me, when I see like the guys kind of like Caitlyn Jenner, who had to go through, all the surgeries to look like when you take is it ERT? When they take ERT?
Oh, HRT, the hormone replacement therapy.
Wait, HRT is for trans women, right?
Hormones, just period. Like if they take estrogen or
Yeah,
testosterone,
estrogen.
it's
When
testosterone.
when Caitlyn takes estrogen, it makes her jawline go down.
Hmm.
Gives her uh
Boobs,
boobies. It makes maybe gives her like a little bit of hips. Like that's somebody who I don't know, dude.
like
Because
softer skin.
look at like yeah, look at Bruce to Caitlyn, right? There's no like Bruce looked like a dude, right? He It's hard to because my philosophy was if the boy is effeminate and already acts like a girl or female, it will it makes sense for them to transition. But when you're like a manly man from 1 to 30, and then after 30 or 40, you just want to start dressing like a girl and putting a dress on.
Well, the way
Is
I
that mental illness?
no, well, the way
Or
I
is it possible that you just have to conform because of social constructs? You know what I'm saying? It's like
or
it's
in okay, in his case, in Bruce's case, I think he made enough money and made it to a level where he felt comfortable enough and felt like he had enough fan base to be who he truly wanted to be. Because that's what how I understand it is that trans people have always felt like they weren't supposed to be in the body that they're in.
so when I see a man who looks like a man in a wig, I'm trying
But
to give them the benefit of the doubt to be like, maybe this person just can't afford estrogen,
yeah,
but this
it's
is his
expensive.
he feels
Yeah.
like a girl.
And they were saying a lot of it is, the surgeries and the hormone replacement. That's like kind of further down. I guess the first step in feeling more comfortable in themselves is changing their name, changing their pronouns, all those different things, which doesn't hurt anybody.
Fine.
That's safe.
I could give them the benefit of the doubt, but it's still we doesn't mean that we have to conform to their lifestyle, or like we have to like it or accept it. We can have our
But it doesn't
biases
affect you
at the
though.
same time. But at this, well, it affects me if you're in my bathroom. It affects me if you're in the bathroom with my daughter. I don't
Okay.
know you.
Okay, so the thing with that is I was watching this one YouTube video on a page called Jubilee. It was like trans conservatives versus trans liberals.
Ugh, I hate Jubilee. But go ahead.
And so
There's some
it's so
leftist
interesting.
bias. But keep
Is
going.
it? Is it?
Yeah, they are.
Oh,
To me, I think so. They've expressed it a lot. But go ahead.
okay. I don't know, but it seems pretty fair, whatever the topic is. But they were saying that, which I thought was a great point, is a lot of the conservatives felt like as a trans person, the way that they really thought like how their actions affect others. And then the more liberal ones were more like, well, other people should feel comfortable around me, or like they should be,
Yes. Yes.
you know what I'm saying? And
Yes.
so the thing with the bathroom that I thought was a good point is depending where they were in their like transition, like if
Mhm.
you look, and it comes down to passability, like if you
Yes.
look like a boy, then you should go to the boys, or a man, you should go to the men's room.
Yes.
If you look like a woman, you should go to the woman's restroom. Or yeah, you know what I'm
Right.
saying?
But who defines that?
Nobody does.
Because I've seen women who look like dudes,
Yeah. And
but
it's
they're women, and I'm like, you gotta go to the boys' bathroom because you look like a dude. Like,
Yeah, and so it's dangerous for them, like in those situations, because if there is a guy, say in the men's restroom, like men are always at the common denominator of a lot of these issues. It's kind of interesting to me, but anyways, so men, if a trans woman goes into a men's restroom, they might get beat up, if you come across the wrong type of dude.
or like with family or Planet Fitness, where the woman was upset because there was a man or a trans woman in the women's locker room shaving, and she didn't like that. So Planet Fitness got some heat on that. So it's like
Yeah,
we're not
it's
always the common
so
Karen and men,
right. So
right?
the
People who
bigger
just don't people who don't want to conform with your
comfort.
normality or your truth or the way your lifestyle we shouldn't have to conform to that. Because the normality is boys have dicks, women have pussies, they have their own sports, they have their own bathrooms, right? So now we have to like change our mindsets because a few want to be in that class. So how do we solve that?
And that's
We
where
get
we
them to
are.
get
That's
their
where
own
we are.
bathroom?
like more people are trying to well actually I don't even think a lot of people are talking about this in wide circles because it's kind of taboo. It's kind of an uncomfortable conversation.
I
But
don't
I
know. I think they are like when I was having lunch or with my coworkers who are not my friends, we talk about all kinds of stuff and all that Trump, trans, bombs,
yeah.
the protests, like that all comes up.
Yeah. No, you know what? It just when you were saying that, I was like, oh dang, yeah. My little cousin, we were all playing horse. We were playing basketball, and she said something about trans people.
What's little?
Uh, fourth grade,
Oh wow, that's crazy.
and she said something about trans person. It wasn't derogatory or anything like that, but it was just like in the conversation,
Yeah,
you know? So it's like, okay, well, this is really something that's affecting, and that's what the statistics are showing that. Before, there was a lot of trans women later in life, but right now, Generation Z is having a lot of trans men, you know, for whatever reason. So like just transgender in general is something that is happening more. So that's why like we need to figure this out so
I mean
that for the safety of everyone.
there was a
And
time where it was like a fad with the high school kids. Like they were saying like if you like boy stuff, then you're a boy, and those teenagers were getting gaslit into like taking hormone pills and stuff to become boys and stuff, and then they got older, and then it's like, why did I do that? Like I want to be a girl, you know?
yeah, well, I'm sure that happens, but most people don't change. They don't change who they want to be. Like
Don't change, don't
they
change.
want to be that. Like they felt that in their soul, their spirit, whatever, forever. And here, let me see. There was something right here. 'Cause like, 'cause it's your brain. Uh
Yes.
Like it's not okay, it's not in the mind. It's something I read earlier that was really awesome. It was like it's not in the mind as a delusion. It's in the brain and body's deep-rooted self-perception system. So there's a lot of different like the hypothalamus, you know, like there's different parts, lobes in our brain that help us to self-identify, help us self-regulate. The brain just does a lot of different things that help us with identity and a lot of people, there are some reports where people were having it's a lot of this is still being researched, but I'm sure more will be revealed.
I
But
think everybody's just different, right? Like if you let's say you're a woman who's just more masculine and you like girls, like that woman doesn't want to have a dick. She just
but
like
that's totally
she's just
different.
gay.
Yeah,
But
that's different.
then there's the girl who is masculine and wants to be a man. Like she wants to get the beard, she wants to cut her titties off, like she wants to be a man. Like, and there's that person like whatever it's kind of it should be I guess it's like whatever you feel and at the end of the day if you have regrets that's on you, right? Because you made that decision, you're old enough to make that decision to have the vasectomy or the what do you call that, what's the mammy ones,
Oh, the
because I don't want
mastectomy?
to say cut your titties off.
Oh, a
Is that what
mastectomy?
it's called, vasectomy? I did say that.
A mastectomy,
A
yeah.
mastectomy, yeah. If you want whatever you want to do, you should be able to do it, right? I mean, it's
Yeah.
a if you have regrets, that's on you. But as a when you're a kid, no. Under 18,
Right. But nobody's
no.
nobody's arguing that. Like at least everything that I've come across, like even medical cycle the ADA and the APA, like they do not suggest minors do that because I mean their
Right.
prefrontal cortex is still developing, right? Like we had this
I
conversation
mean, it's
as
still
well.
developing until 25, but we still let them
Right.
over 18. Like it's a wrap. Kick
Yeah.
out of the house, go into the
Well,
military, become a man, become a woman.
but I think a lot of parents that are involved in their kids' life, they see how tormented their children are because this is not a mental thing. It's like a knowing. And they know that they or they
Well, it's a mental thing when you're like in the wrong body and you feel like how this happened, why do I have these feelings? And it's important to get therapy for that person to I guess, navigate those feelings and say it's okay to feel that way. Now, how do you live with those feelings? Later on, do you get the hormone therapy? Do you put up with it until you turn 18, 19, 20, or when you get that good job so you can afford stuff like that? Like
Yeah.
you should be able to do what you can.
Right, because it's not just in your brain, but there's a lot of neurotransmitters and your hormones. Because like there was some research that was is even saying that like when the child is in a mother's when in the womb, like there's some kind of hormonal things going on there where it could affect the child in that
Sure.
development. So there's a lot of research that's ongoing, and I'm sure in the next 10, 15 years they'll have a lot more information about this. But it's from what I understand, it's not mental illness. It's something different. Because
I
like
think
for
it's
me, okay, here's an example. For me, like ever since I was a child, before I was who knew who I was or whatever you want to call it, I was more of like a tom girl or tomboy. You know what I mean? And
is there
so,
Tom girls?
I mean, I've heard that before, yeah. But I was a tomboy. Like I played little league on the boys team. Like even now, I'm in like everything I do is like a male dominated industry. And it's like I think it's definitely something on the spectrum. Like I don't feel that I'm mentally ill. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. Like some people I think deal with or have these things within them early because and I mean coming from like a Christian perspective, like we're in a fallen world. Like there's certain things that aren't to God's design. Like human nature is flawed. And so there's certain things that aren't perfect. They're not cut and dry. It's not just, you know, male, female, I mean, but then that's a whole nother thing too. The conversation about, what is a woman, But the thing is, not like anybody could say they're a woman, but they can't be a female because if they don't have, but then there's some nuances there too, because not all females can have children. Say like how a lot of people have miscarriages or struggle with getting pregnant and they need a little more assistance, or they just can't have children.
But you still have a vagina and
Right, because
boobs.
you're a female, but a
Yes, and
woman,
hips.
yeah, but a woman is more, because they got labels for everything, but it's more of a identity, a gender, like womanhood. Like
But
when
isn't
when you
that what?
turn into a girl, you turn into a girl to a woman.
Mhm.
It's more of like a cultural, like, so that's why I think a lot of people try to say trans women are women, that whole debate. But I don't know if they say that they're females because technically they can't be a female because they don't have, as currently where the definitions, medical definitions and linguistics are, like they can't be a female because they don't have reproductive organs or, that kind of stuff. And it's also kind of interesting that all this conversation is around men becoming women and not so much women becoming men.
Because women becoming men aren't trying to play sports with other men because they know they'll get destroyed.
But okay, so also with that, say,
That
um,
was a long ass pause, wasn't it?
right.
That
But
was a long ass pause, yo.
I know I was watching our episode back the other day and it was like, I thought it was frozen, but we were
Yeah.
like, it was like
Did
a
you
long
cut
ass
it?
pause.
Did you edit that?
Yeah, I think I did.
Okay.
It was the other day. Um, But what was I gonna say?
About sports.
Yeah. So, because a lot of people are still researching and still debating that, if a man or a trans woman is in sports,
Hmm.
will they outdo,
No.
women or be better than women?
Wait, what?
And Yeah, like if they could, they'll, that's why people don't want trans women in sports because they're men biologically,
Yes, right,
you know?
correct.
And so I heard
They'll
that,
dominate.
yeah, when they take the hormone replacement therapy,
Hmm.
they do, lose some of their like strength in
Mm,
listen,
I'm listening.
but they still have their like big hands and like
Yes,
strong, skeletal
yes.
build.
It
But
doesn't
they're
deplete your bones.
right. So they, they're like massive. They're more massive, and that
Yeah.
could be like a competitive edge in volleyball
This is
or
why we have male and female sports.
right. But now that we have a new situation happening amongst a lot of people, well, not as many as, it's not like it's normalized, but it's happening in this Generation Z.
It doesn't feel like Leah Thomas, whatever his name is, didn't competed in the women because he knew he would dominate. Because in the men's, he was like in 50th place,
Mhm.
but in the women's, he obviously scored higher, or he was first place actually. So it's like, and then that takes away from the women because all those women are practicing, going conditioning, lifting, trying to get healthy, and then they have to lose to a man who did the same thing on the men's side, and then he just flipped the switch and said, "I'm a woman now." I mean, is that fair to
I
those
mean,
girls?
it's not fair, but it's also not happening widespread. So there's no reason to like
I
ring
mean,
the
there's that.
alarms.
There is the baseball. There's wrestling. There is
And
the
it's only
rugby.
like a few
There's
people.
soccer. Right.
It's only like there's billions of people in the world, and this is only
But if
happening
we
a little
don't
bit.
bring it to attention now, then everybody who wants to do it will think it's okay, and it's not okay.
And I'm sure there are people who are, doing it for, like you said, a competitive advantage.
Yeah,
But
right now, it's the AB Hernandez, who plays the soccer and the girls soccer, and he's a boy, and he already dominated. He's dominating that sport or that team to go to the championship. So it's like it's still ongoing. But
right.
I but
But okay,
but
but
my
think
side
about
is
his, but
I
think
will
about
blame.
him though. But think about his feelings. Like if he believes he's a or knows he's a woman or feels like a woman, like it is hard for him
It's
to.
like Superman playing basketball in NBA. That's not fair. I would say no. Obviously, Superman cannot play football or basketball because you have an over advantage. You have to play with Hyperion and Doomsday and Darkseid because they have this. You got in Hercules because you have the same power. You emit the same power. You cannot play sports with normal human beings, Superman. It's
But
the same
okay,
thing.
I love how you guys all care so much about like women's sports now, and you guys don't even watch women's sports. But
I watch King of Combat though.
you guys also say that women, I'm not
I also
defending
do watch beach volleyball.
you like the booties,
I
but um,
don't know what you're talking about.
a lot of these men don't, not that they don't watch sports, but what was I gonna say? Um,
You like how we bring in talking about girls' sports now that the trans
yeah,
situation.
right. But you guys don't want equality or like the diversity, equity, and inclusion, or like I know you have brought up about like, oh, do can women be firemen and they can't be firemen if they can't compete in as same as men. So it's like that's kind of it's like what do you guys want? What do you guys want?
I don't mind women. I don't mind women firemen or policemen or in the military as long as they can pass the test that was already there and that they don't change the eligibility test physical just because they're women,
Right.
just because they want to meet a quota. That's it. If you could pass that and you can haul a big old sandbag that's the size of a man and you could carry that body along for a mile or half a mile, by all means, be a policeman, be a
Right.
fireman.
So in sports, why can't that be the same situation? Because like when I played I was like the only girl on an all boys team and I was the best girl on the team. That's why they let me play. And I was younger. So and this isn't cap, this is all real. So I'm just
Wait,
saying, like,
say that part again. You played what?
I played, it was Little League though, it's Little League. We were like 6 years old. But
Yeah, I played T-ball. Our T-ball, our baseball was co-ed
right, but this was an
because
all boys.
we're all the same.
Yeah, but maybe we're a little, I don't
Like
know.
bone destiny strength. That means nothing when it comes to high school and college. No, bro, or professional. No,
I see some girls,
there's not
no,
gonna be no LeBron James playing in the WNBA, dude.
I
He'll
mean,
dominate the sport.
I'm sure there's some girls that can whoop on some of these
No,
NBA players. I'm sure.
no,
I mean, but how do you guys
no.
want us to compete and be at the same
You
equal
don't.
level
You
in,
compete with women.
no, I'm talking
We'll
about,
compete with men.
no, but we could be in the military and compete, and we have to compete at the same standard as you guys do. And that's with being a
Yes,
police officer, and that's being with a firefighter. Like we have to compete at the
and
same level. So I'm just saying, when it comes to sports now, like it's like oh, guys are gonna beat us. It's like I don't know. Some of us women are pretty great.
I lightweight think that some of those academies are letting them in there because they're women.
Why would they do that? That would hurt the unit.
Yeah,
That's
and
not
it
the case.
has been.
It has
There's all
not.
kinds of videos of two women trying to arrest a girl and a guy and failing. Like
Well,
it's crazy.
there's guys who fail as well. I mean,
Yeah,
people fail.
guy on guy.
I'm sure.
Yeah,
There's probably I saw a
I've seen
woman.
a big guy and a small police officer. Yeah, obviously, yeah.
I saw a
But
UFC fighter. It was a woman and a man, and the woman knocked him out. So all I'm saying is,
I saw
hey,
Serena Williams play like a guy in the 20, ranked 20, and Serena Williams is ranked one or two in the women's division, and he whooped her ass. So
how old was she?
how old was this? Was like a few years ago. How
Well,
old is Serena
she's not in
Williams?
her prime anymore. But I'm just saying, like it's like I don't know if it's a double standard, but it's like we have to be equal in this, but you guys don't need to be equal
I
in
don't
this.
think women should be firefighters. I don't think women should be police officers.
Well,
That's
they
right.
are, yeah, but they
They are
are.
because of DEI.
No, they're not. And they are. That's so, I can't believe you said that out loud. Like, really? Really? Come on.
100%.
I know so many women that outperform men, like in so
In
many
what?
levels, in everything. Give me any industry and I will show you a woman
In
that.
what? And did they go against the best in that circle?
But what men are the best in any circle? Men are the
I
greatest.
don't know what you're talking about. You said what's in any field? Pick a field.
That's all I'm saying. I'm just saying that, I mean, anything. Like there's women that are great engineers, there's women that are great attorneys, there's women that are better leaders.
Engineer
There's
is brain power, and that's irrelevant. That's not the same. That's not a. I don't mean to say that word. That's not the same because brain power has no sex. You're smart. You're smart. If you do the work, you do the work.
I don't know.
That, that's That's not the same. That's not the same as hitting a ball to the other side or dunking a ball or saving a person out of the house or handcuffing somebody or swimming for whatever X amount of meters.
Yeah, I don't know.
Did you see that video where they're fencing and a woman, did I show you that? Did I send that to you? And the one and the girl concedes because she's about to go against a trans woman, and she's just
Oh, I
says
think
no.
I've seen that before. Yeah, that's the same. Like the right, they always circulate the same videos. Like there's literally only a few instances of this happening. Like
There's not a few instances. It's all
it
over the
is.
internet.
It really is. Did
No,
you ask I can't remember what your chat GBT's name is.
Val.
Val, that did you ask Val? Ask Val. Let's ask Val on the spot. Where's Val?
Really?
Yes.
Ask her. Ask her what?
Like, is this a widespread situation? Is there a bunch of trans athletes playing in the NCAA or whatever league you want to ask about? It's gonna be like three people
Why does it matter that there's only a small amount of people doing these things, but yet they're still doing these things?
because they
Right?
campaigned on it and it's not even a problem yet.
It is a problem
And
if
all these
women are not
people,
being able to compete
no,
and losing to men.
but it's not, just Google it or chat it up. Like, I don't want to have this conversation anymore because, like, it's not even a widespread thing. It's literally like seven people out of the whole entire.
So we should just ignore it and not. And those girls who practice and condition themselves, we should just forget about their equality to win because they had to accept that a man dressed as a woman gets to compete against them. We should just who cares because it only happens like once a year. We should just
It's,
forget about it.
well, it's nothing to campaign on and make the whole world think it's a major issue when it's not, not right now, at least. I mean, of course, you could nip things in the bud, but it's not happening on a widespread scale.
But so what's wrong with nipping it in the bud then?
It's not something to like have your panties in a bunch about. Like, that's all I'm saying. This is not real. This is not a real topic.
It is real. It is a real topic.
It's not that. Just chat it, GPT it. That's
Yeah,
just
what am I supposed to say? Are there
trans athletes in collegiate sports.
yes, there are openly transgender, well, we know this though. Transgender athletes competing or have competed in collegiate sports through representation. Well, remains quite small.
What, like, they have the numbers. A guy went on Capitol, or yeah, the Capitol Hill, and he did a hearing, and he said it was only like seven people out of however many thousands of athletes. Like,
Beyond these out sports identified around 45 trans athletes who have competed in college sports across
over,
D1, D2, and three, spanning disciplines like swimming, track, basketball, and more.
and how many athletes are um in collegiate sports? Oh, well, since Trump's in office, none. They said only individuals assigned female at birth may now compete in NCAA women's sports. Those assigned male at birth, even if identifying as a woman, are barred from competition. Okay, how many trans athletes were in the NCAA before Trump, and how many athletes are in the NCAA? 44 out of 522,000 athletes. And these fools campaigned on that.
But we should
It's
ignore.
fine. No, it's fine. You don't have to ignore it, but it was minimal. It was a lie. It was misinformation. It was propaganda.
What's misinformation?
That it was a widespread situation. This
Who
is
said that? Who said it was widespread?
that's oh my gosh.
Nobody said it was widespread. They're just putting a
They scared the whole
focusing
entire
on it.
they scared all of you people like yourself
Nobody's scared. I'm not
and it
scared.
made you guys think, oh,
Nobody's scared.
the whole world is
No,
transgender.
nobody thought that way. Nobody thought that way.
Well, I don't know.
Nobody thinks that way.
Yeah.
We we want we want women to go against women and men to go against men. That's all. Nobody's
Right.
scared.
Right.
We ain't
But
scared.
they're still waiting on a solution to this issue because it's not going to go away. I don't think transgender people are going away. They're, if anything,
Yeah, we don't want them. We don't want trans people to go away.
they're going to be coming out. So there's, a lot of
Yeah, come on
solutions.
out.
There's a lot of solutions where they're saying, oh, have them start their own league, but that kind of singles them out too.
Yeah, that'll be a
But
small league.
yeah,
Or you
exactly.
get if you're a boy, just play with the boys, and if you're a girl, play with the girls.
right? But then when you know in your head that you're not that, or yeah, when you know, believe and feel that you're not that, then that makes you feel some type of way.
If you're a trans woman and you know you're taller than these girls, you're stronger than these girls, do you think you, Stacey, think that's fair? You think that's selfish of that person to compete with other women when you know for a fact that 3 years ago you were a boy looking like a boy and now you grew your hair out, you wear makeup and you want to get fake titties because you feel like a girl this whole time. Do you think that is fair for the rest of the team?
Like I said, well, I didn't say this, but they're doing different, I don't know. It's like a lot of extra work to get transgender people to be like in an equitable situation. Like I guess they're like we're gonna like take blood tests and count hormones and I don't know, it was just a lot of extra stuff. So I mean, at this point, I would say I don't think it is fair that, you know, guys are playing in women's sports. It's not.
I agree.
So, and but that's, you know,
Oh, so what does the Bible say about trans? Is it are they in the Bible? No.
it's well, I
Was
mean,
it does it count as like the gay part?
well,
Yeah.
it just counts as, I mean, you know, we were all created in God's image. There's no like flaws within us. Like God made us the way that we are. Everybody is a sinner. This is the Christ perspective, is
Mm.
that everybody is a sinner. You know, when Adam and Eve ate the fruit from the tree of knowledge and they were able to see good and evil, like they were deceived by the devil and they lost their identity. So like it's really deeper than what people think. Like the world has told us to be like, you know, to self-identify. Like and you know, people are so like gung-ho of trying to find their identity or their tribe or, you know, like it's such a big deal nowadays. But our identity as a Christian is in God and just like in him knowing, we knowing who we are, that he loves us, that we're perfect, he created us, and like that's the bigger point in all this
So
for me.
if you're born as a man and you like men and you can, it's not a perverted thing. It's just you the boy just grew up and like PP and like sword fighting. I mean, it's how do you explain that? If we're in God's image and God made us all perfect, but a lot of
But
Christians
we're
say that's,
flawed. Well, we're flawed because when, like I was
or is
saying,
that a perverted, that is a perverted thing.
yeah, it's a perversion. Like if people, you know, when, like I said, when they ate the apple from the tree, they were deceived by a snake, a serpent, and that was the fall of man and like human nature. Like
But
we,
that part is us though, right? That's all of us.
yeah, all of
Yeah.
us, and that's why
So,
no sin is greater or less than any other sin. The only sin that's unforgivable is like speaking against the Holy Spirit, but that's
well,
a
I
whole
would
other.
say killing somebody.
No, not even
No,
that.
not even that. Yeah.
So it's like,
Jeez.
yeah, so it's like people who are transgender or transgender, because I guess transgendered isn't appropriate to say anymore. But when you're transgender, you like I'm learning, like I'm trying to have more grace and more understanding because like I said, I don't know. I know of one transgender person and I didn't know they were transgender until they transitioned. And so so it's, you know, I'm trying to understand it because
See,
like
that's
I
weird because the only trans uh person I know doesn't want to be trans. She wants to be a woman. Like you call her, like her name is Janet, and she doesn't want to be a trans. She just wants to be a woman. Like, is that mental illness or is that you just feel like you were born in the wrong body? And a feminine boy who really wants to be a girl. If I mean, I'm pretty sure if she could, or if it wasn't bullshit and so much tending to and maintenance, that she would probably get a vagina, you know. But you know,
But even trans people don't necessarily recommend that going that far
yeah, I know.
because the
I've
surgeries,
heard, yeah.
yeah, the surgeries, they're like irreversible. And like you could, I hear that they could, just from what I read, like they can, they feel more like themselves, even with just like changing their pronouns, changing their names, maybe doing like the hormones, maybe doing some of the other type of surgeries. But like going that far, like that's really, but I mean, if you think about it, a lot of people have identity issues. Like if you look at people who are doing all the cosmetic surgery, you
Oh,
know,
100%.
so it's like, is that mental illness?
Yes, absolutely. Especially when you're addicted to it and you keep changing stuff.
Well, I mean, yeah, there's different levels, but that's what I'm
That's
saying.
crazy.
I feel like it's all this is a spectrum. Like
But then
there's,
there's a middleman like Don Richards. She got a nose job, and that's all she did, right?
but it
That's
makes them
cool.
feel
But
better
then
about themselves.
yes, but then you got Kim who did all kinds of shit. J Lo does all kinds of shit. All these celebrities doing all kinds of shit. That's to me, that's a mental illness. Like
But it's
look at Lil
normalized.
Kim. That's crazy.
But in some circles, that's
Lil Kim then
normalized.
changed her whole body. I mean,
Yeah.
that's a mental illness to me.
But it's people, but they don't classify it as a mental illness.
It's just fine, which is fine, but it's
That's what I'm
something wrong
saying.
that you want to change your whole skin color, your eyes, your nose. You want to look like an alien. You want to put extra hips on your hips. You want to put extra ass on your ass. You want to put extra tits on your tits. It's that has to be a
Well,
mental
we're
illness.
going through identity issues. Like
What do you say? That is
um,
body dysmorphia.
yeah,
That right there.
that's
That's
another,
insane.
yeah, that's another spectrum. Like it's a lot of people
I mean, if you
suffer
compare
with how they look.
Lil Kim first album to Lil Kim now, it's like a whole different person.
And how many people,
Even with Michael Jackson, that's to me that was body dysmorphia. Changed his color, changed his nose, changed his hair, changed his chin. I mean, that's insane. That's
right?
crazy.
So, but that's normalized. And I think like when people find out more about transgender, that'll be normalized too, in a way. Like, I don't know.
How's that normalized? What do you mean normalized? Like it's off it happens often?
Like it'll be acceptable.
Like the Michael Jackson
Or
thing?
just like or like sexuality, like people that are gay, like they're accepted more now. Like it's like a evolution. And I'm not saying that is right or wrong or anything like that, but I'm just saying that's what's happening. And I'm trying to be, and I think everybody needs to be more understanding and not just straight up call people mentally ill, like we
Well,
gotta,
I will. You don't have to.
right. But that's, I mean, and there's a lot of people like you that are online that feel very adamant and strong about that. And it's like, why? Why does it bother
Because
you that much?
there's no way. It doesn't bother me.
It does bother you
I just
guys.
don't agree.
If you're that, but you don't have to agree. It's not your life.
Yeah, I
Like
know,
that's
but I can have an opinion on it. And my opinion is that you are mentally ill. If you're changing your whole body to look like something else, like something's wrong. Even like adding on and you think your skinny legs and your big old butt looking like a two stick lollipop is okay? Like that
right. But
something's
just
wrong.
right. And I mean, you could feel that way, but just like as a person who follows Christ, like and that's the thing, like we should be accepting of all people and, just come to them with kindness and, may not necessarily agree with what they're doing, but show them, tell them to pray on it.
Pray on
Seriously.
it while you're on the surgery table, like
Yeah.
getting
Or
lip filler.
before that'd be way before that. Like
It's too late now. Like Lil Kim's fuck. She's done. Michael Jackson, he can't go back to his first nose. It's a wrap. When he was alive, it's a wrap.
yeah. So, but I don't know. I'm just saying like people should have more grace and understanding for everything that's happening in this world. This world is a fallen
What's grace?
world. It's a fallen world. And
What's
so
understanding? We can understand it, but we don't have to have grace.
I mean, grace is just
Like I can accept it. I obviously can't do anything about it. I can accept it and understand it, but I don't have what's the grace part?
like you just don't like you
I'm supposed
listen
to
just
have like empathy.
or just listen to what's happening. Like these are people, if it is mental illness, if it comes out to be
Yeah, I
mental illness,
listen, I watch the YouTube. I'm curious.
right? But just
And
say,
I think it's a mental illness.
okay, but if
I
you
think something's
meet,
wrong with them. Whatever it was like a childhood thing, some trauma,
but
some
it's not.
drama.
There's a lot of people that don't have any of that.
Okay, but
And they're
some of it
still
is though. This is what I'm saying too. Like everybody's story, gay or not, it has a different story.
right, but
It's
they're
different.
but it's not necessarily sexuality, it's gender identity.
Yes,
Like that's a
yes.
whole different thing. So it's, I mean, I'm just saying if you meet or come across somebody that's transgender and you didn't know and they turn out to be hella cool, like you're gonna call them mentally ill? Like, I don't know. I'm just saying like it's just not kind. And a lot of people aren't kind about it. And
I'm
it's
not if I meet if I meet somebody who did their nose, I'm not gonna tell them they're mentally ill. I I think they're mentally ill though. I'm not gonna say tell them though.
but
Unless they want to hear
also,
unless they're my friend and they want to hear my honest opinion, I'll say, yeah, something happened, something went wrong.
yeah. Well, it's a lot. From what I'm understanding, it's just a lot more to it. It's just not mental illness. It's like, and it's technically not mental illness.
Okay, I
It's
don't agree.
like, right. But scientists and experts and researchers and doctors, they have a whole nother look into it. It's really interesting.
Yeah, I could say like depression is a mental illness. I have depression. Should I not say I'm mentally ill?
But that is technically a disorder, yes. Like it's been classified.
But body dysmorphia and me trying to change, like getting like constant cosmetic
Yeah.
surgeries is not a disorder.
I mean, it's the one of the body dysmorphia ones. And like gender dysphoria, like that's declared a mental illness
But little Kim is okay.
because of the suffering.
Yeah,
No, that is under body dysmorphia. There's like a lot of different body ones. And you know, those some of those are classified
yeah.
as
Everybody's story is different.
this is true. Mhm.
Hmm.
So, well, anyways, this is gone long enough. I don't know.
Well, we made a good time.
I don't know how it'll come across, but I just say that we all just have more like just don't be mean about it. Like let people live their lives and don't be like an asshole. Like a lot of people, not saying you, but I mean it is kind of an asshole-ish way to like go about it. Just be like, oh, well, they're mentally ill. Blah, blah, blah. But there's a lot of people that are just out here beating people up, killing people, and that's not cool.
Yeah, I'm not doing that.
Right, but a lot of people are. And it's just,
Those people are mentally ill too.
yeah,
Like you can't
exactly.
take you can't take somebody's different not difference. Is it I guess it is difference.
Or
And
racist. Like
you have
I
to react with violence, like you're stupid.
right. And like I feel like racist should be classified as a mental illness, but it's not. So
I don't think it's a mental illness because you can be cured of that. That's just you being stupid. If you
it's
unless you
deeply
think
embedded.
mentally illness is stupid,
It's
then
that's I think that's more like epigenetics or something. That's like deeply ingrained in people's DNA.
because I know people who can change. They could change that. Because what I've seen with racism is all I need to do is talk to somebody who they hate.
Same with transgender probably. Like people just need to talk to a transgender person instead of like having all their judgments. Because that's really what it is. It's like people are making judgments. But I mean, I'm not gonna lie, it's different. And that's we're getting, it's something that's emerging in this fallen world. So like I said, none of us are perfect. We're all flawed, we're all sinners. No sin is greater than the next. And We just gotta have grace for people. That's it. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
or just ignore them.
Yeah, that would be even better. Like people online, they just woof. Like I've seen some crazy stuff, and it's like,
I saw a transgender in the men's bathroom, and I was just like, I had to pee, man. What am I gonna do? Get mad? I
yeah,
gotta pee.
yeah. It's definitely not a comfortable situation,
I see a trans woman twice a month, but I'm in Los Angeles.
right? Like that's the first time I ever saw like,
I saw one yesterday.
yeah, transgender people when I moved out there. I was like, oh wow, there's heck of them out here. And then, but I didn't have any in high school that I knew of. Oh,
Really? Why do
maybe.
I feel like I'm the only one?
Yeah, I think I know the one you know because I was like that was the one in the whole district. Like to be honest, you know what I mean? And think about that. Like everybody knew who that person was. Like just think about the pressure and the thoughts that they felt. But they were very confident in who they were.
But they made it out, and they had lots of friends, and they were popular,
Yeah.
and yeah, she made it out, and she made it out good.
But see, look, you're giving them their pronouns.
Cause
That's the
that's my man. That's what I do right there, man.
see, but the ones that you like, you'll conform, but the ones that you don't know or just being whatever, you're not gonna give them their pronouns because you don't
If
agree
they
with
look
it.
like a girl, I'll give them I'll give them. What do you mean
See,
pronoun?
that's such a guy thing. Oh, if they're a good looking one, good looking trans, then
Because you pass. It doesn't make
but
sense
they're still
for
trans.
it doesn't make sense for me to call Blair White a boy because she doesn't look like a boy. She looks like a girl.
Oh, I think she was on the Jubilee episode. Her name
And
was
then there's
Blair.
the girl. Then there's a girl, the trans who played the new. She's the new pin. She's the new pinhead. She looks like a girl. And then there's a girl who played in Designated Survivor. She's an actress. And then the one who's in Euphoria. They look like girls.
Yeah, but not everybody
And then the
could.
one who's on Supergirl, she looks like a girl. Good Jesus Christ.
Oh my Lord. Not everybody can look that good because
It'd be weird.
it's
It'd be weird to
expensive.
call them a boy because they don't look like boys.
Yeah, because I think that's a lot of it too for
Janet looks like Janet, the one we know.
more
She
people.
looks like a girl. It'd be weird. I do it. I did it. I do it because it made him mad. And I'd be fucking with him. But if I ever see her, it's she could look like a girl.
Yeah. Like, and
I mean,
that's the thing. It's like some people are in that situation are more blessed because they're
yeah,
passing. Because
it's not about me respecting pronouns. It's me about respecting
what they
just
look
what they look
like,
like.
image,
Yeah,
identity.
Dylan looks like a boy. He looks like a boy trying to look like a girl. Like, no, you look like a boy.
And that's the thing. That's so difficult for some transgenders who can't look good. Look,
Right. So that's why I brought up well, sometimes like I said, they can't afford the ERT, the estrogen, so but they always wanted to be this way. It's like I don't know. I don't know your story. So I let you be. But to me, it's like but to me, at first appearance, you look like a man in women clothing. That's it. What am I don't know you. I don't know if you're going through something. I don't know if you got broken up with. I don't know if you're about to go to a play. I don't know that this is you or you're on your way to become looking more like
yeah.
at that time,
But all I'm saying, yeah, right at that time.
you're
But
a boy who looks like you're cosplaying as a girl.
right. But we're gonna see a lot more of that.
Yeah, cool. Bring it on.
So like
Do your thing.
we gotta, I don't know, it's gonna be all in our face. That's all I'm
Yeah,
saying. That's all I'm saying. So
bring it.
cool. All right. Well, if you guys made it this far, whew, whew, that was tough. That was tough. We'll talk to you next time.